Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the whole select. Shalom to you few brothers and sincere sisters that watch my videos and gain edification or useful knowledge in this truth and heed the warning. So, the title of this lesson is going to be 4 women were drinking and speeding and met by judgment, something to the extent of that, and judged. All right, because ultimately they were judged. All right, they were judged by the Heavenly Father. All right, and these women, they were being reckless. They had no disregard for their lives and everybody's life inside the vehicle, anybody's life on the road. They could have killed people. They had no disregard. These women were drinking to the point they probably could pass out. They was doing, 100 or better on the highway. All right. Some of these women had children, 4 and better kids. So, these women were reckless. All right. And they were judged by the Heavenly Father. Some of them were probably adulterous women, very prideful, not humble at all, and the Most High judged them. He took their life instantly. Car flipped over, they swerved, hit a guardrail, car flipped over, hit a pole, and ejected, all right? One is in the hospital, and suffering brain damage, all right? So what type of life is she gonna live? And this is in no way, shape, or fashion meant to mock the victims, the dead, Salakia, rather, and the one suffering in the hospital with brain damage. But, ultimately, it was the Lord. The Lord took their lives, all right? Because more than likely, these women were adulterous women, very proud, very haughty, and they're probably just, wicked women. They could have scoffed at the men of the Lord, or they probably, seen the men of the Lord and probably said something smart. So you know what? That's judgment. All right? A lot of judgment is happening, especially to these so-called black women, black, Hispanic, and Native American women. All right? You black, Native American, and Hispanic, Latino women, y'all gonna be judged. All right? Y'all being judged. And the Most High is not putting up with y'all foolishness no more. All right? So that's what happened. All right? These women were speeding, reckless behavior. Reckless. Especially if you got kids and you sitting there and you drinking to the point of, blackout status. You doing 100, they pass around bottles of tequila and whatever have you. Hard drink, strong drink. That's what they passing around, strong drink. This is stuff that, men drink. And these women sitting here, the so-called black women sitting there drinking that. Like it's nothing. That's why you gotta watch out for them. Because these women, they drink just like men. All right? So let's filter this out with some scriptures. And I'll, matter of fact, I'll play the video.
Developing right now in Lake County, Florida Highway Patrol says this video is at the center of their investigation into a deadly crash over the weekend.
And the women had the nerve, the pride of these women had the nerve to record themselves while doing this.
Troopers claim 4 women were drinking while speeding. 3 of them died. Another is in the hospital tonight in critical condition. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is live at the hospital in Orlando. And Randy, you spoke to the sole survivor's mother. What did she say?
Yeah, good evening to you, Luann. Spoke with her late this afternoon, and she described her daughter as a fighter, and she is certainly fighting for her life right now. As you mentioned, we have video that has been confirmed by FHP that they are using as part of this investigation. I want to warn viewers that some of this video may not be appropriate for younger viewers. As FHP says, one of the women that you will see in this video.
And this right here is disgusting behavior for a woman. This is disgusting behavior. To be drunk, you know they loose, drunk, driving around, no regards for nothing, no life, not even their own, not even their children's lives.
Is one of the women who was killed. Speeds appearing to top 100 miles per hour.
I think it said
passed around the
116. Let me go back.
That some of this video may not be appropriate for younger viewers. As FHP says, one of the women that you will see in this video is one of the women who was killed. Speeds appearing to top
116 miles per hour. So you talking about you doing 116, drinking strong drink, all right? And you're a woman, and you think that, that you can handle that? I can't even handle that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even try to do that. But yet and still these women are doing it. These women are out of control, no type of order.
100 miles per hour. And alcohol passed around the vehicle. Florida Highway Patrol says this.
Look, she got the lip piercing. They drinking out the bottle, passing it around in the vehicle. She got the eyelashes on, the Snuffleupagus specials. She got the long weave. The piercings. These women got to be into something more.
Video is now part of their
I
investigation
guarantee one of them's a carpet muncher or goes both ways.
into this weekend's deadly crash in Lake County.
In that vehicle,
If not all of them.
if the video ends up being exactly what our investigators are able to prove, there was a lot of distraction in that car for the driver and for the other passengers.
State troopers say the crash happened early Sunday morning along State Road 19, just south of State Florian Lane. Investigators say the driver failed to negotiate a curve, ran off the road, hit a pole, and flipped several times. They say no one was wearing a seatbelt, and everyone was thrown from the Jeep. 3 people were killed: Kenesha Lewis, Octavia Pugh, and Shakayla Mathis. A 4th passenger, Mariah Belcher, is in the hospital.
My child is here, but it's
4 people thrown from the vehicle, and one of them lives. But she's barely holding on to her life.
3 kids that
Even if she does live, what type of life is she going to live?
lost their lives behind this. And I want their family to go through their grief.
If that's not the Most High humbling these people, he humbling that woman who was thrown from the car. And 9 times out of 10, even if she does, wake up out of out of the brain damage, she's still gonna be wicked,
And not have to worry about my baby.
Mariah's mom says her daughter is still in critical condition, but stable.
She got the blonde wig, the unclean wig.
She has a traumatic brain injury, fractured vertebrae in her neck, and suffered a spleen injury.
A fractured vertebrae in her neck, and I believe they said something about a spleen injury. What type of life she gonna live? She gonna be in a wheelchair. She gonna be wheelchair bound. Somebody gonna have to take care of her. One man is gonna want her. Ain't no man gonna want her. And that's what I'm saying. She, that's the humble her. She looked very proud. That's the type of woman that you see on the internet, very proud. She act like she too good to even speak to you.
My whole ride from Alabama, all I can say is my child should live and not die. and she's fighting.
Marcia Knight says her daughter and her friends may have been leaving a party when they allegedly made the post on social media and crashed. She says it's hard watching that video and knowing a night of fun with friends ended like this.
The accountability on my half goes towards my daughter. Because if you knew this person had been drinking, you knew you guys were drinking before, there, after, why? You know what I'm saying? You know better.
FHP says they're still waiting on toxicology reports in this investigation. They also have to compare data from the vehicle to how fast the vehicle was recorded in that video. Investigators are also reminding you to wear your seatbelt. And in a GoFundMe created for Kenesha Lewis, she is described as a mom of 5, and she is remembered as a sweet and loving woman. There was another
A mom of 5. So she left.
GoFundMe created for the victim. Wear your seatbelt. And in a GoFundMe created for Kenesha Lewis, she is described as a mom of 5, and she is remembered as a sweet and loving woman. There was another GoFundMe created for the victim, Octavia Pugh, by her family, and they say they are heartbroken by this. And the entire community is heartbroken.
So you mean to tell me she left by one of the women left behind 5 children, and she's doing this type of behavior?
The mayor of Eustis posted on Facebook today that there will be a prayer vigil this weekend on Sunday at 5 o'clock at Carver Park to honor all of
You could just about tell what type of mother she was. Those type of activities.
these women. Reporting tonight, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
So sad, Randy. Thank you.
All right, so let's go back to the let's filter this out with the scriptures. All right, so this is Titus 2:3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. All right, and these women were definitely given to much wine. This is Ephesians 5:18. And be not drunk with wine, wherein in excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And these women were far from the Spirit. Isaiah 5:11. Woe to them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them. So I wanna know what some of these words mean. So we're gonna go to the blue letter. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that may follow strong drink until night, that continue till wine inflame them, burn, hotly pursue, kindle, and flame. Interesting. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink and continue tonight till wine inflame them. Hotly pursue, to kindle, persecute. All right. So let's see. We got Proverbs 31:6, 16, so no, 6 and 7. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Okay? Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. And those women were probably drinking because, number one, they're not making that much money unto him that is ready to perish. And these women, you got one that's a mother of 5, so she going through it. She probably got five baby fathers, all right, and none of them probably help her take care of her kids. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. And they probably drinking to forget what type of stuff they going through. They came from a party. They got all the bottles in the car. That's no way to live. 2 Corinthians 5:10, for we must all appear for the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to what to that he has done, whether it be good or bad. And we all got to take account for the things that we did, the sins, the unrighteous acts. Proverbs 11:22, as a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman without discretion. And the woman, she was pretty fair, but she didn't have no discretion. She didn't know when to stop. She didn't know when to stop drinking. And that's the problem with a lot of these women. They don't know when to stop. They overdo it. Ecclesiastes 7:17. Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou destroy Salakia? Why shouldest thou die before thy time? All right? And these women were being hella foolish and hella wicked, and they died before their time. Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Because the Most High kills, we know that. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And the Most High, once you mark, that's it. Once you mark to be judged, that's it. Nobody can save you. Nobody can deliver you out of the Most High's hand. That's why it says it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the living power, the living God. Salakia. Let me see. Hebrews 31:10. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. All right? And that's exactly what happened. These women fell in the hands of the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Why? Because they was hella wicked. They was drinking, doing who knows